behind me is the area that I planted in early May. I planted 9 plants of watermelons, Blacktail Mountain variety, and 9 plants of melons, Minnesota Midget variety. And they have a good start, but now they're all dead. We did have few fruits to harvest from both. Uh, uh, the Blacktail Mountain watermelons, they were small, less than one person size ones, and they would ripe when they are very small. I would wait on them to not thinking they are not complete yet, because they're supposed to be like maybe 6 inches diameter, 7 inches diameter, but they were very small and they were ripe very small. We did eat few of them. A lot of the fruits were attacked by animals in the middle of the night, mostly rats in this area, and part of it was eating. So we took them and threw them to the chicken. However, I don't consider that a successful project. It was not what I expected. The plant could not stand the heat. We have over 105 degrees continuous every day for a long period of time. Followed instructions, start in May, so the night temperature should be in the 70s, so it will germinate and all that. We have them germinated in the greenhouse, and we brought them out in May. However, that was the results. So that's what I'm doing now. So I started in the greenhouse here. These five of these watermelon. It's called the Crimson Sweet Harvest variety. We planted it 2 years ago and had great harvest. We ate a lot of it and gave to our neighbors so many because we couldn't eat everything. So I planted 5 of them. 2 died. 2 has grown to be in this size, which appears to be good. And 1 is still, it looks okay, but it's not growing as fast. So if you haven't watched my video about changing the planting season because of these issues of dramatic change in the temperature, I'll post it on the screen. Go ahead and watch it. I'm trying to play with the weather, play with the situation to get the best result for our garden. It's not just cut and dry, plant this crop on that time of the year and you get the harvest at that time of the year and all that. It's not that at all. It's each situation with its own circumstances, and what we're experiencing, that when we follow all the directions, all the recommendations about full sun, about timing, about temperature, things doesn't match, and we end up with dead plants like you saw. The first year we planted watermelon here, we had watermelon we planted in May, we start to harvest, I believe, in July, and we had watermelons all the way to November. But now the temperature is not the same as what we had 2 years ago. We had 95 degrees early May and start June over 100 all the way until we're mid-August. So I'm gonna plant those plants right now. So now I'm gonna transplant the two that are probably these pots are not enough for them. I'm gonna put them in here in the greenhouse. They're gonna stay in the same environment with the shade that's on them. We as a beginners, I'm only been 3 years in this, and before that I knew nothing about gardening. We follow instruction. Full sun, we put it full sun. Start in May. Whatever instruction, either on the package or you go on YouTube and you watch videos. My videos are not educational. It's like a journey, a journal for what we do to encourage you to do the same. But we go and we follow what the expert says, and it fails. It's not because we're doing anything wrong. It's just because the information that's out there, it's not for every area. It's not for every situation. You have to work with your own circumstances, environment. These plants, yes, they are summer plants, but they are not for 110 degrees, 112 degrees. They died. They did not produce as much as they should produce. I water them every day, every single day since they were in ground or even before that. I did not miss a day. And they cannot withstand that kind of heat. So now I'm gonna keep these here because this greenhouse is partially shade and all the windows are open and we have wind coming, so there is airflow, so that should cool it off a little bit. So with that, we are going to try to keep these here. I'm gonna try to grow them vertically. I never did that before. I have seen videos about growing watermelons vertically, and they talk about the great way of doing it. I'm not doing it because this is what I want to try, but because the space here is limited inside the greenhouse. These plants, when we planted them 2 years ago, one of the part of the vines were 10 feet long on the ground, and the harvest was great. So I'm limited in space here, but I don't want to put them out in the sun in the 110 degrees and lose these as well. So we'll do that and we'll keep you updated. Here, after transplanting, we'll try to keep them off the ground and we'll try to get them grow vertically, and we probably will add more of these tomato towers, and these two plants should take the whole area. These two plants should take the whole area. We'll try to keep them from coming on the pathway here, so we're gonna try to keep them off the ground and grow not necessarily vertically all the way, but as much as possible to be off the ground and on the supported here. We can add 3 or 4 or even 5 more of these tomato towers to support them, and to be easier to harvest, easier to handle.